men who have not been regular performers for years.
Now, there are certain wrestlers that simply don't need another match. Most of the names on this list are wrestling icons, and by returning to the ring, they could damage their established reputation. Additionally, there are some names on this list that have been blacklisted from the wrestling world due to their conduct outside of the ring. Despite being blacklisted, they're still attempting to get bookings to mixed success. But which wrestlers were they? Well, join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at which 10 former WWE wrestlers should never return to the squared circle. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists.
And in fact, I became the bully.
Number 10, the Velveteen Dream.
You can't just hold on to the dream. Quite frankly, I'm too big to hold.
At one point in time, it looked like the Velveteen Dream was going to be a huge star for the WWE. He was one of the top stars in NXT, and the young superstar was even being rumoured for a high-profile feud with John Cena. This would all change when in April 2020, Dream was accused of sending indecent images to a minor on Instagram, together with a number of other allegations.
What school do you go to?
That, no matter what, just kinda doesn't. I don't know why you asked that.
For the next few months, WWE insisted that there was no truth to the allegations, and they continued to feature Dream on WWE television. However, in May of 2021, Dream would be released to the delight of many WWE fans who've been clamoring for his WWE departure since the allegations surfaced. Since his release, Dream has been unable to attain any bookings, with the majority of pro wrestling companies simply refusing to work with the former NXT North American champion. Dream is simply too controversial to be in the wrestling industry, and it's in everyone's best interest if Dream stays away from the industry indefinitely. Number 9, Kane. Kane, without a question, is one of the greatest characters in WWE history. Throughout the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era, and into the PG era, Kane has been a WWE mainstay, and he's always been reliable whenever WWE needed him in virtually any role. But although his abilities and achievements can't be denied, his last few returns to the ring haven't been up to the standard that fans have expected from Kane. Take for instance his match teaming with The Undertaker against DX at Crown Jewel in 2018, as well as his appearance in the 2021 Royal Rumble.
Now to the apron. He caught Kane, stunned him just, well, maybe not at all.
It was clear during these matches that Kane's best days were behind him. Kane was quite rightly inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame as part of WrestleMania 37, and during this time period, Kane revealed that he's not officially ruling out another return to the ring. Kane would always be welcomed back by fans in a non-wrestling role on television, maybe as a GM, but it's clear that his days in the wrestling ring as an active competitor should come to an end. Number 8, AJ Lee. Now, there has been a lot of demand to see AJ Lee return to the ring for some time now, but the issue is that AJ has serious long-term neck damage, and returning to the ring could impact this significantly. AJ last wrestled a match on Raw following WrestleMania 31, and she hasn't taken a single bump since.
I just want to say hi to my beautiful wife sitting at home. I love you, April.
Since CM Punk's AEW arrival in the summer of 2021, there has been a ton of speculation that the former Divas champion could end up in the company. But although Punk has been hesitant to comment on this in the past, he hasn't ruled out that AJ could potentially sign for Tony Khan's promotion. AJ wrestling again is too much of a risk, and she would have to go through numerous tests to make sure her neck isn't too damaged to wrestle. AJ has done a number of outside projects since her retirement in 2015, including writing a book as well as penning for DC Comics. These abilities would certainly be appreciated in the wrestling world, so AJ joining either WWE or AEW's creative team would be a smart option for the former Raw general manager. Number 7, Alberta Del Rio.
I did it because I thought it was personal. Now as a promoter, I know there's nothing personal in pro wrestling, it's just business. I'm sorry for my mistakes.
Del Rio has been teasing a WWE return for some time now, which embarrassingly for Del Rio, WWE have outright stated that they have zero interest in bringing back the former WWE champion. Del Rio is one of the most problematic figures in wrestling today. He has allegations of abuse thrown at him by WWE superstar Paige.
Rocket, he gets me the fuck away from you! He gets me the fuck away from you!
And Del Rio was even charged with a number of allegations in 2020. Although Del Rio is talented in the ring, he brings along with him a lot of baggage, and clearly has issues that need to be addressed before he ever steps foot in the squared circle again. Number 6. Ryback. A former WWE superstar, Ryback took to Twitter in September 2021 and stated, "You're not the most famous pro wrestling on TikTok without a match in 3 years for no reason. Your hero is returning soon and you will cheer me because you believe in my actions." So it looks like Ryback is finally returning to the ring, but this is not an avenue that Ryback should be exploring. During his WWE run, he attained a reputation for being rather unsafe in the ring. This opinion was mainly formed by CM Punk, who claimed that Ryback was negligent in the ring and that he injured Punk time and time again.
First night out, gorilla press through a table, misses the table. Dumps me on the concrete ground.
Since his departure, Ryback has been working on various projects, including a nutrition brand. Ryback doesn't have many fans in the wrestling community, so it'd be rather unlikely that there will be any wrestling companies interested in having him back on their roster. Number 5. Sting.
I'm going to finish my wrestling career under the WWE umbrella, and I'm so proud of that.
When Sting announced his retirement following the neck injury he suffered during a WWE title match against Seth Rollins in 2015, fans had assumed that Sting was truly done in the ring. After all, he was 56 years old when he suffered the neck injury, and this was a type of injury that would have ruled out virtually any pro wrestler. In 2020, it was revealed that Sting had signed for AEW, and fans were under the impression that this would be a non-wrestling role, but this wasn't the case. Sting has had a total of 3 matches since signing for AEW, but he doesn't appear to be stopping at any time soon. Sting needs to be extremely careful, as he's currently 62 years of age, and due to his established neck injury, one move could result in Sting being seriously hurt.
Sting! Oh! The powerbomb through the table by 2.
Sting should instead take on a non-wrestling role in AEW, similar to the role he's undertaken alongside Darby Allin, but he should certainly leave the in-ring action to the new generation. Number 4. Ric Flair. Following Ric Flair's release from the WWE in summer of 2021, rumors began to spread online that Flair was looking to wrestle again. These rumors were fueled by Flair's good friend Booker T, who claimed that the 16-time world champion is keen to get back into the ring as soon as possible. Now this sounds like a terrible idea. Flair is currently 72 years old, and he certainly shouldn't be taking any bumps at his age. Flair last wrestled back in TNA over a decade ago in a match against Sting, in which Flair actually tore his left tricep.
Oh my God! Superplex off the top by Sting!
It's unclear why he feels he needs to wrestle again, as it's best for Flair to stay in a non-wrestling role, but it's likely he won't be convinced that this is the best move for his health and safety.
What is it? Is it nature? Nature boy! Ric Flair! Ric Flair! Ric Flair is in the house!
Since his WWE departure, Flair has appeared in Lucha Libre, AAA and NWA, so it's clear that Flair is testing the waters in relation to which promotion he may ultimately wrestle for. Number 3. Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's final few matches in 2019 didn't make for pleasant viewing.
Drew McIntyre. It has ended the career. In a word, this was humiliating.
This wasn't the Angle of yesteryear. This was an Angle who had numerous injuries impacting his body, meaning that Angle couldn't put on the quality of matches he could previously. Angle's retirement match would be against Baron Corbin at WrestleMania 35, and the match would receive negative reviews, mainly due to the disappointment that it was Baron Corbin in his last match. Since that now infamous match, fans have been requesting that Angle has one more match so he can redeem the quality of his initial retire match. This might not be a good idea. Angle during his 2019 WWE run wrestled the likes of Chad Gable, AJ Styles and even Samoa Joe, but these matches were not of the quality you'd expect from the former WWE champion. Due to how incredible Angle's WWE and TNA careers were, his last few matches don't impact his legacy in any way, but if he was to come out of retirement for one more match, this could all change. Number 2. The Undertaker. WrestleMania 36 featured The Undertaker in his last ever match. He would face AJ Styles in a Boneyard match, and going into it, there was a lot of pressure on The Undertaker to deliver a match suitable for his WWE send-off. Thankfully, the dead man succeeded. Him and AJ put on an acclaim match that fans applauded, as it showed the very best of Taker and put an end to an iconic WWE career. Following his official retirement, there have been rumors that Taker would come out of retirement if Vince McMahon needed him. The Undertaker has gone on record in the past to say that if Vince ever wanted him for a match, he would struggle to say no. Additionally, he's notoriously struggled to stay retired. He was supposed to have retired at WrestleMania 33 following his main event match with Roman Reigns, but naturally he decided that that match wasn't the right match to retire on. Speaking to Stone Cold Steve Austin on his Broken Skull Sessions podcast, Taker said,
"In my mind, yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that. But the old man, you never say never. But I am, for the first time in my life, I'm at a place where I can say, I don't need it. I don't have to be there, and I'm gonna be okay. And this is the first time in my life that I've ever been there. I'm good with that, yeah."
There's no way that The Undertaker can match the quality that the WrestleMania showdown with AJ offered fans. Plus, with Survivor Series 2020 being built around The Undertaker's final send-off, hopefully this means that Taker's in-ring career is officially over. And number 1, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan in 2020 publicly declared that he wasn't officially retired from the ring. This came as a huge surprise, as Hogan, who is 68 years old, has a long history of surgeries which has made it extremely hard for the Hall of Famer to get around. Nevertheless, Hogan is insistent that he can still wrestle. Interestingly, WWE had plans for placing Hogan to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal last year at WrestleMania 36. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic taking over the world, these plans were thankfully cancelled. There is a clear lack of interest from fans in seeing Hogan wrestle again, and it's best that Hogan sticks to sporadic non-wrestling appearances with WWE. But there you have it, folks, 10 former WWE wrestlers who should never return to the squared circle. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.